How the CPD tasks can be successful for business and how we can undertake to improve the business communication. So, getting start here, we have discussed multiple barriers, communication barriers that can be. We discussed multiple barriers that can be the hurdle between you and your customers. So, some of you attended the previous lecture. So, if you remember that barriers. First was we discussed multiple barriers. If I revise that, the first one was the language barrier, means there can be a language difference between you and your customers. Second was the fear to lose job just because of automation tools. We discussed these kind of barriers. So the first one is to analyze the fear of change is the emotional reaction and the defensive communication. For example, we discussed the fear of change, means when people fear for change, like you have implement different automative tools. Now your employees may thought that they will be replaced by any AI tool and they are no longer needed for the organization. So how will they react towards that change? There will be an emotional reaction in employees, or there will be a defensive communication. Maybe they say that AI tool may not produce more accurate answers than us. So such kind of emotional reactions and defensive communication can be come from them. The reason why, because they are feeling anxiety, insecurity, and stress. In their mind, they are thinking that the organization is replacing us. We are not needed there. Maybe we will lose our jobs. Like, for example, you can imagine it as a company, as I mentioned, who is transitioning from manual processes to automated system. Now, we have some employees who have worked with the manual system. Like, if we take an example of inventory management system, before invoices, now in every retail shop, we have POS, point of sale system, means that will automatically generate the invoices now or bills. Now, maybe before that automated system, that was manually done by a customer, by an employee. So now you are transitioning your company from manual processes to automated. Now maybe the employees who had worked with manual system many years, they will feel anxious about their abilities. Means they might think that we are not that much experienced. That's why they are moving or transitioning towards automated system. So when different managers or peers try to discuss the benefit of new system, how that employee will respond, they will be defensive. Maybe they will. So in this way, there will be a communication barrier between you and your employees, because in their mind they are very anxious about their abilities. They are feeling some stress or insecurity about their jobs. So whenever the new employees are going to talk about that new system, they will be very defensive against that. So that can be the first reaction towards their communication. Now, the fear of change can be due to misinterpretation of the information. So, due to fear of change, what will happen? Here we are doing the analysis of fear of change, means how the fear of change can impact the employees. Firstly, we have discussed that there will be an emotional reaction among the employees due to that fear of change. Then the second one will be they will interpret the information wrongly. Like if they are worried about the change, like they might think there will be a negative impact due to their job securities and routine. So misinterpretation can cause, because the people project have their fears about the information, so they will spread rumors against it. Like, for example, in a school setting, if we talk about, if our teachers are informed of the upcoming shift to a more digital curriculum, means they are told that there will be, the system is going to be digitized, you have to use the digital tools, more smart tools and technologies for students, so that they can gain more knowledge from that. So some may assume that this means they will be required to learn complex technology, means many of the teachers can be some that are away from IT. There are many teachers who have no understanding of IT. What will happen? They will not able to accept that new technologies. They might, for example, if we take a common example now, in most of the schools there are many experienced teachers or institute that are working from past 15 years or 20 years, like they have give you can say that a part of their life to that institute. Now in this modern era, mostly people are transferring their education system towards different digital tools and technologies. Like now, uh, every teacher must know how to use the AI tools like ChatGPT for preparing their lectures. Many other tools like different presentation tools. We have Gamma. Multiple tools are there. So maybe the school requires or institute requires a smart system. Now that teachers who are elder or who are very experienced, but they don't know how to use that technology. So it will be a difficult task for them to adopt that. Now, even if the school administration clarifies that training will be provided, maybe there will be a training from the school, but the teachers still fear it might lead them to interpret the announcement as a threat. Now, school has announced that it is for the betterment for the institute and also for the student. But for teachers who are away from technology, they will take it as a threat. So that is why there can be a resistance in the communication. So this is another point that that misinterpretation of communication will be happen due to fear of change. Now, due to fear of change, what will can also happen reduces the openness and the feedback. Now, there is a fear of change. They are not willing to shift from the manual work to digital world. Why? Because the biggest fear is they can lose their jobs. So there will be a willingness of individual to engage in an open discussion. They will not openly discuss about the concern. Maybe there are two, if we categorize employees of the organization, like the employees in working in the HR department or IT department are very close to technology. They will be not, there will be no fear for them uh, due to this change of technology. But on the other hand, who are just manual workers, who just have to do some manual tasks. So there can be a fear of change for them. They might think that this is our small little job in this organization. If it will also be automated, when what will we do? Or maybe they are not aware of that much art. So there can be two categories of employees, whether we talk about these schools or institutes or whether any organization. So now the non-technical staff will be hesitate to talk about this change with the other peoples, means who are aware of the IT or technology, because in their mind they think that they are known from these digital technologies, so they are taking it as a benefit. But on the other hand, the non-technical staff might think this is a threat for them. So the non-technical staff will hesitate to discuss about that. Like for example, if we talk about in a corporate restructuring, now employees may fear job cuts or role change. Means if the management does not encourage the open communication, employees may avoid asking the question or providing the feedback. So there will be no feedback, there will be no discussion. So it will result in misunderstandings. So if there is any silence, there is no discussion. So the organization may have different concerns. The change will become more difficult. So another cause or effect will be due to fear of change is that there will be no open discussion and the number of feedbacks will start to reduce. So there will be distrust, like the fear of change can foster distrust. Like, for example, suppose a company previously implemented changes that were not well, maybe that are not well received or have negative consequences, such as layoffs, if we talk about layoffs. So, what will happen when a new change is announced? Employees may not trust the management reassurance, believing there might be hidden downside. For example, if we take it in simple words, uh, in healthcare, in different countries, if we talk about Tesla, uh, maybe you are known about the Tesla self-driving cars. Do you know about that? Previously, I was reading a news that Tesla accidentally has crushed a deer. No, that driver didn't stop the car because that was automated. Now, Tesla is programmed in such a way if there is some sort of object, then you have to stop within, I think, a 10-meter distance, something like that. But it didn't recognize that there is an animal in front of that. So, due to this, there are many issues that shows that the system is still not accurate. The accuracy of AI system is still leaves a question. So that can be a distract. Now what happened? People will not trust these self-driving cars because they think that there's still too much work from them. Now it incident happened with an animal. Maybe another day it can be happened with a human being. So in this way, if the change foster some negative impacts, then the employees, the audience, the public will distrust that organization. So the fear of change can also lead distrust if that change causes some negative impact. So the increase in rumors and miscommunication. Now, when people fear to change means that people are not ready to change. They are afraid to change towards digital technologies. That's why they are doing such kind of things. So that can lead rumors and miscommunication means they may release on informal communication channels like rumors, like for example if it's a university setting. Now if staffs are informed that they have to learn some new teaching methods, they are introduced, but they didn't give any kind of detailed explanation, so there can be different rumors may start. Maybe some staff may like that method. Like, for example, I told you that we have, if we categorize whether it's teachers, whether they are employees, we categorize them in like a non-technical person and technical person. So if you transform or transition from manual methods to digital methods, so what will happen? That uh, peoples or staff with the manual methods have no problem with that. Uh, the people or the staff with the digital methods have no problem with that. They know how to use the new digital technologies. They know how to do that. But on the other hand, the staff that may don't have that kind of experience with that, so they don't like that. So some staffs may think that they will be replace them with the younger tech survey professionals. Maybe now we know that the youngsters have more knowledge about the IT, whereas our senior employees or teachers don't have that much. So there can be rumors or miscommunication within the staff that the senior teachers might think that we are going to replace by the younger tech professionals. So there will be a fear-based resistance that can be create a situation that will not be controlled by the administration. There will be a communication barrier between all of them. So, any question till now?
No questions, please.
Then we have increased new ideas for solution. Now that was different fears that can, like if we talk about, there will be resistance to new ideas or solution. Fear of change, uh, what will create, there will be no innovative ideas. Means maybe individual resist new ideas or method or system because they see that everything is replaced by technology. Maybe all the decisions are taken by the managers. So they stop giving new ideas or solution. They might think that their ideas will be rejected. Their ideas are going to be ignored due to that transition. Like for example, in a healthcare sector, a hospital might introduce a electronic health record to improve the efficiency. Maybe they have some experienced nurses may feel change threaten their familiar with the paper-based processing, but they are not familiar with the electronic health records. So they may resist to communicate regarding to the new system. They try to skip the training sessions. They will not ask questions about that. So this is how the technology or the fear of change can create resistance among employees or the staff or the faculty members. Now, the question is how we can overcome that kind of fear of change. So we discussed this thing in the previous lecture. You can promote the transparency. Means, like for example, you want to introduce new methods. So how you can be more clear or how you can overcome that fear by you will clearly explain the reason for the change. Like for example, you are shifting yourself, your organization from manual processes to automated processes to help the employees to reduce their workload. So in this way, if you will be transparent with your employees that we are not going to replace you, it is just for you just to reduce your workload. So it will give us more benefits. So this will reduce that barrier. Then you can provide them support and training. As I mentioned that maybe some senior staff members are not aware of that IT technologies or new methods. They don't know how to adopt them. So what you can do, you can provide them training sessions. You can that will help the individual to feel more prepared. It will reduce their fear or their anxiety that they are feeling just because of that change. So this is how we can overcome that. Then you can encourage the open dialogues. Means how you can do that? You can create a staff safe environment for them where they can express their concerns. Means you can hold a meeting. Uh, in that meeting, you give the freedom of speech to them. Like they can say about, they can talk about the concerns related to what they feel, why they are feeling that this technology is going to have bad impact. So if you have an open dialogue with them, open communication with them, then it will reduce the need for their defensive communication. They will stop talking bad about that new technology. Then you can acknowledge their emotions. Means you recognize that the change can be difficult. So you validate people's feeling that they are saying right. The feeling that they are experiencing that time, they are um, right. So you validate that feeling, you invite them in the open discussion, you communicate with them. So in this way you can reduce that. Then you can share the success stories. Maybe there can be some past successful changes that you have done in your organization. So if you share that past success stories, so it will help to change in a positive light. So this is how you can overcome that fear of change. So in the first part of discussion, we have done the analysis or the impact that can be caused by the fear of change. We have discussed different points that can be happen and how we can overcome that. Now, what we are going to discuss is to evaluate the success of a business communication, and we will identify how CPD can help to improve the business communication. So here we will discuss multiple things like what is the purpose, how it helps to engage with the audience, how it will align with the organizational goals. Now, also we will discuss how CPD can help you to improve your communication skills. So previously we have discussed multiple body language and communication skills that you can use with your meeting with your employees or your clients. We have discussed verbal communication, non-verbal communication, different types of verbal communication, that is written and oral. We discussed non-verbal communication, in which we discussed different body language. So can anyone can tell me a difference between the verbal and non-verbal communication? The basic difference is that verbal communication includes the written and the oral communication, whereas the non-verbal communication is the language of gestures. Different body language includes sign communication, that means maybe through signs you try to communicate with the other person, through your eye movement, through your hand movement, through your facial expression. These all things are included in the non-verbal communication. Okay.